When he even finally called up 2 goalkeepers or 3 goalkeepers, he called up Ojo Olorunleke, who has not been good since the Obasanjo administration. At the very least, the last time Ojo Olorunleke was good, dollar was 190.
Hello and welcome. This is Crossfire and my name is Jadeichi. On today's edition of the show, we would be discussing the Super Eagles and the inclusion of Npfl players in the provisional squad for the Afcon. Joining me to discuss this very topic is Tunde Young and Tosin Abayomi. Should Npfl players have been included in the team for the Afcon? So let me start with Tosin on this one. Tosin, no outfield player in the provisional squad of the Super Eagles. Do you agree with Jose Peseiro on this one, or do you think he should have done otherwise?
I would agree with Jose Peseiro. And this is his thing. The Nigeria Premier Football League is a shithole. The Npfl is a distressed asset. And the reason is the Super Eagles of Nigeria is the premier football brand in this country. It is not a developmental system. The Npfl is not a catalyst for people to be shoehorned into the Nigerian national team. We have the under-17 team for that. We have the under-20 team for that. We have the under-23 team for that. So if your talent is good enough, you can transition from that. We saw there are a lot of players that are actually transitioned to the youth teams from the Nigeria Professional Football League. But for the Nigerian national team, which is the Super Eagles, the best of the best, not just in the country, from across the world, represent Nigeria at the Super Eagles level. So the best players in Nigeria, for the most part, are basically abroad, and that is fine. The Npfl, over the years, based on the way it has been conducted, like people like Shehu Diki or Shehu Diko, whichever the case is, they've made it to a situation whereby it is an embarrassment on the nation. The development is not there. Issues of organization, issues of transportation, issues of officiating, and that is now the standard people want to take to the Nigerian national football team, which is the Super Eagles, ahead of the Afcon. They don't do things like that. They don't do things in a mediocre way. The best of the best have been called to the Super Eagles, and we should take it like that. This campaign for the Npfl, please just stop this nonsense.
Surprising, Tosin actually agrees with Jose Peseiro. But Tunde, let me come to you. Tosin raised quite a number of points, but talent, lots and lots of people saying talents are in the Npfl, and we've seen historically how these talents actually help the Super Eagles. Do you actually agree with Tosin's take, and of course with Jose Peseiro's decision not to call outfield players to the national team?
Of course, I don't agree with Tosin's take, and definitely not with Jose Peseiro, because why would I agree with a clueless man? We've already established on this show multiple times that Jose Peseiro does not know what he's doing, and this list proves it again. But please, just because I'm agreeing with this one topic does not make me one of your pundits with their divisive rhetorics. I'm an objective person. I'm not a xenophobic pro-Npfl by all means human being. This list has structural issues. Tosin talks about the Npfl being mediocre. Let me tell you mediocre. Mediocre is Francis Uzor. That's the second choice goalkeeper in Cyprus. That is mediocre. Francis Uzor cannot start for Sporting Lagos. Francis Uzor cannot start for Bendel Insurance. Francis Uzor cannot start for Doma United. All 3 teams have better goalkeepers than Francis Uzor. Now tell me why someone like Kingdom of Sai of Doma United does not make the squad, but Francis Uzor does. It's plain and simple favoritism by the coach. So in terms of Npfl players that should have made it, of course, our best players play abroad. But that's not for every position. We know that we have a serious goalkeeping problem. The structural issues in this team, and when he even finally called up 2 goalkeepers or 3 goalkeepers, he called up Ojo Olorunleke, who has not been good since the Obasanjo administration. At the very least, the last time Ojo Olorunleke was good, dollar was 190. He just called him that, you just come and play. That's, like, we should criticize the coach for what it is. He's a bad coach. This entire discussion of Npfl players versus abroad players, dead that rubbish, dead it. Someone like Ismail Sadiq should get the call up because he's a good player, not because he plays in the Npfl. Because he's a good player, and because we don't have better than him outside of Nigeria. Ismail Sadiq has 9 assists in 13 games this season. Everyone starts are challenging for the league. That's a player that should make the squad ahead of a Bruno Remachi, ahead of a Ola. I don't care if Ola not plays in Premier League. He's not better than Ismail Sadiq. Make the squad, not because of an Npfl player, because he's a good player.
Okay, Tosin, back to you. we've seen the Super Eagles win the Afcon on 3 occasions, and all 3 occasions we saw NPFL players in the national team at those tournaments. Do you think it would be different this time around, the fact that we possibly, by the time the team gets trimmed down to the number of players that are expected to go to the Afcon, do you think that squad without NPFL players are capable of winning the Afcon?
You know, I was actually lenient in the first part of this episode because I didn't want to shit on the NPFL. But let me actually go all in. You see, the NPFL is a disgrace, is a national disgrace. And the fact that people keep clamoring for this failed product to keep producing players for the Super Eagles, please, on a consistent basis, is just a fugazi or a fugazi, whichever the case is. Let's look at it objectively. When the Super Eagles won the Afcon in 1980, in 1994, and 2013, is that where the NPFL is now? Is it where it is? There was a time where the NPFL in the African continent was among the top 3, the top 5 best leagues. When last has an NPFL team actually progressed to the final of any CAF competition, either the Super League, the Confederations Cup, or the CAF Champions League? You have to go back to probably 2003, the time of Vincent Enyama and Eyimba. That's how far back. In 1980, the likes of stationery stores, the likes of Rangers International or Enugu Rangers, the likes of BCC Lions of Boko, the likes of Shooting Stars of Ibadan, those were reputable teams, and the league was run in a way whereby people could actually develop and progress to the Nigerian national team, which is the Super Eagles. Are you comparing this shithole called the NPFL, this nonsensical? I can say it because I spent years as a journalist covering the NPFL, and it is a waste of time. It is a failed entity. It is an embarrassment to the nation. Is it the NPFL that they are using biro to write jersey number? Is it that NPFL you want to that nonsense, that mediocre mentality you want to take to the Super Eagles of Nigeria? We are talking about the NPFL, the Nigeria. It is the most useless league in the world. It is the league whereby people beat referees, people beat players, transportation issues. People NEPA takes delight. We are talking about third world issues with the NPFL. We are talking about progressing them to the truth of the matter is the NPFL in 1980, whereby they produced the likes of obviously Christian Chukwu or Degbami. That is not the NPFL. The NPFL of today is a festival of mediocrity.
So you think NPFL 2013 was better than NPFL?
In fact, it's better. Look at the players on that squad. Look at the players. Look at Obuabona. Look at players like Sunday Umba on that squad. They are talking about this current. Have we not seen hype from the NPFL in recent time that they gave opportunities with the Super Eagles and they squandered it? Players like Stephen Ode. I remember when we used to cover the NPFL, I used to travel around the country then, from Lagos to Ibadan, go to Gombe. We used to Stephen Ode. Where is Stephen Ode today? Where is Chisom Buchalam today? Where is this guy from MFM? What's his name? Seclusion. Where is he today? Where is Afis Aremu today? Where are these players that were 16 years old then, but have vanished at the age of 24 years old? Useless players that were propped up with the propaganda of the NPFL. They are not coming today to talk. Forget it. The NPFL is an embarrassment to the country. In fact, the NPFL is worse than Nigeria, and Nigeria is a terrible country.
Wow. All right, Tunde, back to you. I mean, Tosin has done his best to bring down the NPFL, but let's talk about the NPFL one more time. I mean, you've heard most of what he said. The Afcon without the NPFL players, we've seen how somebody like Sunday Mba played a very vital role. Do you actually think the Super Eagles can thrive without the NPFL players at the Afcon, or actually they will be doing so great?
First of all, before I even answer that question, we all knew Tosin was an unhinged man. I don't think anything that happened now surprised anybody. I just want to add context. The incoherent ramblings of the madman he just heard was based on the fact that his favorite NPFL team, MFM, are no longer in existence. Now let me not tell you.
You didn't need to do that.
It is not Peseiro that closed down your team. It's not Peseiro that squandered the money of your team and they don't exist anymore. It's not Peseiro that did not pay your players that led them to leave your club. So calm down, drink water and chill. All those NPFL is worse than Nigeria. Jokes on you, nothing can be worse than Nigeria. Secondly, The NPFL, I'm not again. Don't mistake me for any of those pundits. You know what I mean. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of those people that blindly do quota system for the league. I don't care. Yes, I do believe that.
It has to be based on merit.
It has to be based on merit. I believe that most of our players most of our best players play abroad. I've already outlined people from the NPFL that should have made, not because they are NPFL players, not because I'm on their payroll. Which money they even have to give?
We don't know, possibly. But go on. That was. I didn't say anything.
You mean to tell me now that I personally would much rather have seen an NPFL player take Ahmed Musa's spot? And that's one of the themes from the people criticizing this thing that I've not heard. Nobody get mind to ask why is Ahmed Musa in this court, because everybody they protect their everybody is protecting their income. Chiki is now 15,000. And I know Ahmed Musa.
I have not.
Ahmed Musa is when they come to Jebu that I understand. I know all of you must eat. Eat on, don't worry. But me that I don't need Ahmed Musa's money, I can come and say it here. That why is Ahmed Musa in this court? Nobody has had mind to say that. So can Super Eagles thrive without them? Of course, like, yes, they will thrive. But our options are limited, especially when we have a massive liability in goal. You might as well just line up 2 bags of rice and put in goal if you want to use it all, because you have the same exact effect. All shots now go. So why not just give a good goalkeeper a chance? And we've checked Europe. What is this one I want to go and call from South Africa? Stanley Nwabali. This Peseiro guy is the problem. Let us leave all these divisive arguments about European journalists and NPFL journalists. You people stay. All of you. You annoy me. Leave that and focus on the coach. The coach is the problem. Select players on merit and we will not have this issue. If you select players on merit, you can call 16 goalkeepers and Uzoma will not make it. Because you are selecting on merit. Why are you calling Nwabali that was unspectacular in Nigeria, further unspectacular in South Africa, adding ammunition to all these things? So can Super Eagles thrive? Yes. I don't believe in all this. The last 3 times we won it was we had NPFL players. We did not win it because we had NPFL players. We won it because we chose the best players available. Stephen Keshi had a need to fill. He saw Obabona. He saw Azubike Oguoke. These guys are good. These guys can defend.
Word.
He put them in the squad. Umba was not the starter in that team.
Yeah.
He grew into the tournament.
Yeah.
He needed something different from a midfielder. He tried Umba. It worked. That's a coach that is open-minded. Don't be close-minded. This coach has considered even before Ojo Olorunleke became the default NPFL goalkeeper. Who was it? Was it not Ikechukwu Ezewa that was the goalkeeper? Ikechukwu Ezewa at a point was the 4th choice goalkeeper of Eyimba. National team sure for him. Because all these things is we treat the Super Eagles like it's a cult. Treat the Super Eagles like it's a secret cult. Like people have divine rights to play for the Super Eagles. Call people that are ready and playing well. I will stop having any of these issues. I personally am a Nigerian. I don't care what Tosi says. I want Nigeria to succeed at the Afcon. I'm looking for Nigeria succeeding with or without NPFL players. It would have just been nice to see people that have earned it get their slot ahead of Ahmed Musa.
You heard them. What do you think about this conversation? NPFL players in the team, or was it the right call by Jose Peseiro to have left these players out of the national team? Drop your comments down below. Let's know what you think.